I just thought I would really start just to talk a bit about my own experience studying at the VCA. And before I did that, I was at La Trobe University. So I did the Bachelor of Dramatic Art at VCA in 1996. I graduated and I did the animatouring course. I was a part of Company 96. And during that time, there was only 3 graduates, First Peoples graduates. And I remember in my second year, we did an exchange with a drama school from Aotearoa in New Zealand, and they came and spent a week with us at the college. And it was a really fantastic exchange, and I could see that that whole massive drama school were incredibly influenced by Maori culture. It was completely and utterly embedded in their training practice. And we had a presentation, and they taught all of my fellow male students how to do the haka, and they huckered all over the place and they sang lots of songs. And I was the only Aboriginal student in there watching this absolute and utter breach of cultural protocol because they danced on country without acknowledging whose land they were dancing on. I was so upset. I had nowhere to go. I was the only Aboriginal student in that entire school. And so I went up to the director, Dr. Andrea James, and I expressed to her my feelings. And out of that came the opportunity for me to work as the very first Aboriginal liaison officer. And we identified all of the barriers to access for Aboriginal people at the VCA, because we all know that our communities are brimming with talent, but for whatever reason, they weren't getting places at the college at that time. And so we created an access program, and by the simple action of having a black person in there 2 days a week, the doors started opening, and we had people like Targan and Leroy Parsons, and people just started coming, and then out of that became the Woodland Centre, so one little room in the admin building 2 days a week that then became the Woodland Centre. Tiriki, we're really proud to formally acknowledge what has been a long and deeply valued relationship between the Woodland Centre, the University of Melbourne and ILBIJERRI.
There's a tradition of making in this place and of holding space for the stories of here that flies in the face of the false extinction narratives that I got taught when I was going to school in the 20th century. We don't just talk about truths of what has been. We don't just hold up a mirror to who we are right now. We also have that job of artists of dreaming, of ideating a different future into which we might be able to move as well. And I think that's why I've been so grateful for the space that ILBIJERRI holds for us as a community. But when you have brought that generosity into a space like the Victorian College of the Arts, the Faculty of Fine Arts and Music, it's been life-changing for so many of our young people who see this as a viable option.
Really met at a place where it doesn't feel like it's about mob being institutionalised into a way of thinking or doing, but rather us having sovereignty over our practices and our ways of working whilst meeting with the resources and skills of somewhere like VCA, and ILBIJERRI and VCA coming together to kind of hold that in a space like this.